Welcome to the Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, Sean Dupree, and I've got a gripping story for you today. Picture this, a quiet, tight-knit town where crime is almost unheard of. Suddenly, everything changes when a beloved community figure vanishes without a trace. No warning, no clues, just gone. How does a pillar of the community simply disappear? Stick around as we unravel this baffling mystery. Alright, let's get into it. This was no ordinary day in Millbrook. It's the kind of place where everyone knows each other, you know. Neighbors look out for one another, kids play freely in the streets, and the biggest news is usually about the local high school football team. But on that fateful Tuesday morning, everything changed. Sarah Thompson, the beloved owner of the town's only bakery and a pillar of the community, simply vanished. No note, no signs of struggle, just gone. The impact was immediate and intense. It was like the entire town collectively held its breath. Search parties formed within hours, led by Sarah's closest friends and family. The local police, unused to such cases, were overwhelmed by the outpouring of volunteers. As days passed with no leads, the mood in Millbrook shifted. That sense of safety, the very thing that defined their little town, began to crumble. Parents started keeping their kids indoors, and neighbors eyed each other with newfound suspicion. The disappearance of Sarah Thompson didn't just shake Millbrook, it transformed it. Just as people were starting to lose hope, something totally unexpected happens. A note shows up. And it's weird. It's cryptic, with vague hints about secrets only our missing person would know. The whole town is buzzing with speculation. That must have really stirred things up. How did the townspeople react? Oh, you bet it did. People are looking at each other differently now, like, could it be you? It just put everyone on edge, really. Neighbors who've known each other for years are suddenly second-guessing every interaction. It's amazing how quickly trust can erode in a situation like this. Absolutely. And the worst part? The note doesn't give any clear leads. It's just vague enough to make everyone a potential suspect. The police are scrambling to make sense of it, but so far, they're coming up empty-handed. So now we've got a missing person and a mysterious note. What a twist. And here's where it gets real. After combing through some surveillance footage, the police find a shadowy figure sneaking into the victim's home that night. But get this, it's not some stranger. It's someone close. A friend. Someone who even helped in organizing the search parties. Can you imagine? The person leading the charge to find the victim was actually the one responsible for their disappearance. It's a twist that shocked everyone in town. This wasn't just a random act of violence, but a calculated move by someone who knew the victim well. The footage shows this person, someone everyone trusted, entering the house late at night. They moved with purpose, clearly familiar with the layout. It's chilling to think about how they must have planned this, all while pretending to be concerned and helpful. This revelation turned the whole case on its head. Suddenly, every interaction, every search effort, every tearful plea for information, it all took on a sinister new meaning. The betrayal cut deep, leaving the community reeling and questioning everything they thought they knew. This case, it really shook the entire community to its core. The revelation that someone so trusted, someone who was actively involved in the search efforts, could be behind such a heinous act, it's left everyone questioning who they can truly rely on. You know, in small towns like this, people often take pride in their sense of security and community spirit. But now, that's all been turned upside down. Neighbors are looking at each other differently, wondering if there are more secrets lurking beneath the surface. It's not just about this one crime anymore. It's about the broader implications for society. How well do we really know the people around us? Can we ever truly feel safe, even in places we've always considered secure? This case has sparked conversations about trust, about the facades people put up, and about the dark potential that exists within seemingly ordinary individuals. It's a stark reminder that danger can come from the most unexpected places, forcing us all to re-evaluate our perceptions of safety and community. Alright, that's it for today's case. But now, what do you think? Could this crime have been prevented somehow? Jump in the comments, share your thoughts, or catch up with us on social media. And hey, if you're into stories like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more deep dives on real crime. Remember, staying informed is staying safe. Until next time, this is Sean Dupree with the Real Crime Diary.
Hey listeners, welcome back to the Real Crime Diary. I'm your host, Sean Dupree. If you tuned in last time, we had a deep dive into the disturbing history of power abuse across different eras, looking at the connection between dominance, control, and how it plays out even today. We touched on scandals from the past and compared them with some modern-day examples, showing how these patterns of abuse, unfortunately, persist. One of the most insightful tools we've explored to understand this is my book, Power, Pleasure, and Pain, a study of abuse through time. It's not just a historical account, but an interdisciplinary approach to understanding why this keeps happening. We draw from history, philosophy, and modern case studies to explain how figures like Dominique Pellico, Harvey Weinstein, and others have exploited their positions of power for their own gain, often protected by the very systems meant to stop them. Recap of last interaction. In our last live stream, we discussed how libertinism, philosophically introduced by figures like Marquis de Sade, has shaped the way power and pleasure have been entangled throughout history. This concept ties directly into how figures like Weinstein operated, as we saw parallels between de Sade's fictional characters and the way powerful men manipulated their victims in real life. You guys had some amazing comments, asking how societal structures have allowed these behaviors to go unchecked for so long. It's a crucial question, and one that the book addresses deeply. Why this book is valuable. Now, what's powerful about Power, Pleasure, and Pain is its ability to break down these historical patterns and link them to the present. You're not just reading about ancient Rome or Enlightenment philosophy, you're seeing how these ideologies are alive today. The book uncovers how sexual violence and control have been systematically woven into the fabric of societies from ancient times right up to the modern era. It's about understanding not just the individual predators, but the systems that protect them, whether it's in royal courts, religious institutions, or today's corporate and entertainment worlds. Through these historical lenses, we also explore movements like #MeToo that are beginning to dismantle these structures. The fight for justice is far from over, but as the book demonstrates, we are in the midst of a cultural shift where legal reforms are finally addressing these long-standing issues. It's more than a history lesson. It's a guide to understanding and supporting change today. What's next? If you want to dive deeper, I suggest picking up Power, Pleasure, and Pain, a study of abuse through time. It's available now, and trust me, it will change the way you think about power, pleasure, and control. We've even got some exclusive content coming up on the channel where we'll be exploring the book's case studies in even more detail, so stay tuned for that. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the Real Crime Diary so you don't miss any updates. Let's keep this conversation going, because understanding the past is key to changing the future.